Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a twist. And I'm going to do a quick cute Christmas card since Christmas is right around the corner. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. And so I will be doing two projects. So Mimeograph Monday with a twist, if you are new, I'm going to case a project of Stampin' Up. This can be out of a catalog, it could be like a flyer, it could be in my online store, and then I do a twist on it. And this has been a really popular series. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona, so welcome. So during the video premiere, I am in the chat room, so head on over there. I'll be there with my friends. If you're watching the replay, if you have a question or a comment, leave it below, and YouTube will let me know, and then I can reach out to you. All right, so yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. Super, super cute. All right, I also want to remind you, I will remind you about this first, is there is a new starter kit special coming October the 1st. So if you've ever thought about joining my team or coming back as a demonstrator, this is a great time to do it because there's an awesome deal. I don't think they've ever had as good a deal as this. Whether you want to be a hobby demonstrator, just order from yourself or maybe your friends, or if you want to be like me and make it be like a business, I welcome all kind of demonstrators to my team. This is a great time, so I'll explain that when I turn my camera. All right, so let's get started. So close your eyes just for a second while I get my camera adjusted. So this is the starter kit special that I'm talking to you about. Now, with the starter kits, you can pick whatever you want. I remember when I joined, oh my gosh, in 1999, I'm horrible at math, but it's over 25, 26 years ago. The starter kit was way more expensive, and it just kind of came with stuff. But now you really can just customize your kit. So you have two different choices, and this is October the 1st to the 31st, so just right around the corner. So you can choose $125 in free. Again, that's your choice of stuff. And you pay only $35 plus tax if you live in a state where there's tax. But it is free shipping. Or you can choose $189 of your choice for $99 in tax and free shipping. So, oh my gosh, this is such a great deal. So I sure would love to talk to you about becoming a demonstrator. Whether you demonstrate or not, you do not have to do what I do. You do not have to do classes or videos or any of that kind of stuff. In fact, when I joined in '99, I just wanted the discount because I was ordering a lot. I loved it. I loved the Stampin' Up! Stuff, so I just wanted the discount, and it has turned into this. But that does not mean you have to do that. All right, so holler at me if you have any questions. Let's get to the reason why you're here. All right, so this is what we're going to do today. So this is the card, and I don't think I got this. I can't remember now because it's been so long ago since I did my pre-order. But I don't know if I got this right from the beginning or not. But this card made me want to get this, and this is the card we're going to do today. So I have paint on my hands. I'm a mess. All right, so I have my recipe. Now, if you want the recipes, they are on my blog. If you go over here to my blog and you click on the very top where it says current catalogs, you'll find them there. All right, now this is a note card. So these are smaller than your regular card. They come in a pack and they have their little envelopes. They're already scored. All right, and I'm like getting all my little pieces here. All right, and I'm also using these here, and these are the A Touch of Gold tags mix and match ephemera, and there are 3 sets. I love these because they're just really quick to add a little something something to your cards, and they have that little bit of gold. I'm not a big gold person, but I don't mind a little bit of it Like this is just perfect, especially at Christmas time, right? So anyway, so they come three, you can do you know, you get three of each of the different styles. So here are the two different pages, and you get three of each. All right, I'm also using the Traditions, what is this here? Traditions of Christmas 12 by 12. Oh my gosh, I love this paper. This paper is so gorgeous. Now they have just stuck it right on the card, so you don't even see the card behind. They have just put that pattern paper right on there, and I'm just going to put it on with green tip glue, which I put in this little press thing. I'm getting older, and it just makes it a little easier on my old hands. But I just put the green tip glue, this glue right here, I just squirt it in there, and it works fine. All right. So I just cut this. Now I will have to trim it, because I cut it a little bit bigger, because it's a lot easier to line it up if it's a tad bit bigger than making it exactly the size I need. But oh my gosh, isn't that the cutest paper? All right, and then I'm just going to take my snips. So see how there's just a little bit hanging around the edge. I'm just going to follow the edge of the card and snip that away. And you might not even notice that if you left it. It just might, if somebody likes to stand their cards up, you know, to display them, it might sit a little wonky. All right, so there's that. And then you get that chipboard with those tags. Got to keep that chipboard. All right. Then we have, so these are a couple of the little tags that I need. We are going to be stamping with Real Red and Old Olive, which is part of that paper. All right, so let me get my card out here. Now, I didn't do this one. I'm just doing it live on the camera. All right. So we're going to do our trees first, so that I know I have room for them on the card. All right, so I'm just going to put this here because I am going to stamp off a little bit, so I just want my grid sheet. So we have our cute little tree. And I'm just using Old Olive, and we're going to get a couple of variations of color. So I'm going to stamp our little tree. It's kind of down here towards the gold. So I'm going to stamp one tree. So we solid, and then I'm going to go right to the left and stamp another one, and now I have two variations of the Old Olive. Now I'm going to do another solid Old Olive. So I'm going to come over here, do solid, again lift it and come down in between those two and do a lighter one, and look, it looks so cute. And then I'm going to do another stamped off one. So I'm going to stamp off here and then right on the card. So look how adorable that is. It's a little forest. Now it's important because when you stamp off, in case you are new, so let me show you here. Let me do it on my scrap. So you saw that I was like stamping solid, moving over and going like this. And that is perfect. But you'll notice when I went over here, I stamped off on my grid sheet. Because if I were to, I just have scrap. I always have scrap on my desk. All right. So if I were to do the same thing here, I'm going to go here and I'm going to stamp off here. It's perfect. But if I were to be stamping, and then I'm going to stamp a solid one here. And then I go, oh, I want to do a second one. Let me do it over here so you really notice it. Look at, so you have that dark because it didn't allow the ink to come off the stamp because of the side of the paper. So if you are going to do you know, the two-step, you know, you can go even 3. As long as you're stamping fully on the cardstock, you can do that. But as soon as you know, get a little bit off, you need to fully ink it up and then stamp it off somewhere else. All right, so I hope that made sense. But look how cute this little tree is. Look at that little forest I have got going on my page. Like, you could totally make a whole little forest on the bottom of a scrapbook page, on the bottom of a card, you name it. In fact, I might even stamp a little one on the inside, just 'cause. All right. So now we want our real red. So we have this little tag. It's gonna be holidays. And I'm like looking for the one I'm trying to copy. Hang on a second. All right. So this one is going to be holidays. Now I'm going to stamp holidays kind of close to the little fishtail. Okay. So then I'm going to bring my card over. So holidays is going to go here, and we'll be trimming this off so you won't see that hole there. But this will help me know where I need to stamp my happy, because this is there. So I know I need to stamp my happy probably about there. So happy. Cute. All right. Now there's no bling on this. There is some baker's twine. So let me get that over there so it can dry a little bit, because the tags, just like kits, you know, the ephemeras, the kits, things like that, that aren't our cardstock that are sold in the 12 by 12 and the 8.5 by 11 packs. The cardstock is a little bit different, so it takes it a little bit longer to dry. Not tons, but I like to let it sit and soak in before I mess with it too much. All right. So I'm going to use the red and white baker's twine. And I probably cut too much, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to put this in here. So let's see here. Let me get my dimensionals. I'm almost have my little dimensional thing offside empty, so that is good. All right, then I'll get to open like brand new packs. All right, but I use my dimensionals till they're totally gone. All right, so we're gonna put our holidays right there. Cute. And then I'm simply going to flip this over and just use the side of that tag to cut that. Bring our card over, and we're going to put dimensionals on this again. Look how cute and simple that is. I can hardly wait to do the twist. All right, so I'm just going to cut and use up all my dimensionals. Okay. And then I did cut that string way too long, but that's all right. All right, and this just simply is going to get put on the card. That looks about even. And then I'll trim. But look how cute and simple that card is. And it is so stinking cute. All right, so now let me do a twist on it. So for my twist, I'm going to do a regular size card. I picked the same designer series paper, but we're going to kind of make our own little tags this time. So I picked Everyday Arches and Stylish Shapes. All right, so I need my Versamark. I have my heat gun off to the side. All right, so I have my Versamark pad. I have my gold embossing powder and my little tool thingy here. And I'm going to simply take my Versamark and I'm just going to put a little bit on the bottom of my card. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to sprinkle the gold on. So I've got my gold on there. It's important to close the lid. And I didn't even need my embossing tool this time. All right, so let me bring my heat tool over. And we're going to heat this up. So I should have had this turned on a little bit so it could have been warming up, but that's okay. It won't take super long. And then you can kind of see it start to turn. And once it starts to turn, you want to move it along so you don't cook that embossing powder too much. Good. All right. Now I'm going to unplug my heat tool. All right. So now we've made our own little tag, basically. Okay, now I'm going to do the trees again. I'm going to come up a little bit with the trees. But we're going to do the same thing as we did before. So this tag is a little bit bigger, I believe. It's like fatter. Okay, and then we have, so this time, I think I'm going to do Mary. Let's see here. So we have Mary. Yes, I'm going to do Mary. And Christmas. Just to switch it up a little bit. Okay, let me make sure they're inking up good. Yes. Good, good, good. All right, so I need my little stylish shapes. Let's see, I don't think I need this anymore. Our stylish shapes. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this over here and put it there. Let's see if I have room for my Merry. Let's see. If I don't have room for my Merry Christmas, I will stamp Christmas right on the tag. All right. Because we're just making this one together. All right, so we have our Merry. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to put Christmas right on the tag. I could put it down here, but that's too far away. All right, so let's do it right on the tag. Cute. Merry Christmas. Now, I didn't punch a hole because I think I want to put my twine, let me close this pad. I want to put my twine along here instead. All right. So I'm going to take my twine and we're going to put it down here. I need to get it a little bit longer. Hold on a second. I like to just go and make them with you, and then you see like what works, what doesn't work. All right, so that's just kind of ready. I want to get my card going because I want to put that on the card before I tie it. All right, so we have on the inside, we have, I was working on class designing on the weekend, so that stuff's still kind of all over my desk. Another reason why I don't really make you see my whole desk. Plus it would be too far away. I like to get as close as I can to the camera so you can really see. But all right. And I also want to do the little tree because that was so cute with that little tree in there. Here we go. Where's the tree? Here we go. I think we should go all the way across. I need my grid sheet. That way it's got a little forest kind of on the bottom of the card. Doesn't that look like a little forest along there? Totally does. And you could even like not put that DSP there. If you just want to stamp the little trees, you totally could. All right, now I'm going to put this. So I did keep the same plaid DSP. I think it might be one of my favorites from that set. All right. Let me fold. I didn't score that perfectly well, but that's okay. Put this on the inside. Okay, and then this is going to go on the outside. Cute. All right, so this is what I mean by I want to put this on the card and then tie it once it's on the card. Let me find some dimensionals. I'm almost out of the dimensionals. All right, hold on. sometimes my dimensionals look so cuckoo on the inside, but nobody sees them. No, unless they like look on the side or really try to see them. Okay. And then stick that on our card. Looks so fun with that foil embossing. And then I'm just going to tie this in a bow. And by having it on the card, it just keeps that flat, so it's not wiggling around, because it's nice and sturdy on the card. All right, let me trim my tail. I don't mind if it's a little long, because it kind of looks cute if it's got a little bit of length to it. But I think that looks really, really cute. So you don't necessarily need that. If I'd have done less embossing, you know, if I hadn't made that so thick, then I could have put that. So, but it's fun. It's so cool. All right, so this is the catalog version. And then this is my twist. So they're very, very similar. I just, you know, used the Everyday Arches die for that instead. If I'd have done it lower, I could have done the Stylish Shapes for my Christmas, so it would have been just like that. But I like that it just stamped on there like flush, so that, you know, like especially if you're making a bunch of Christmas cards, it's enough that we put this up with dimensionals. So if I put this up with dimensionals, this is a smaller card, so you can kind of get away with more heft and bulk, you know, for your postage. You can see here I really did make this lots bigger than that smaller one. But it was fun to do that with the embossing. All right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. So, and I don't emboss that much, to be honest. I should, because it is a real cool technique. It's one of those wow techniques. If you are a new stamper and you show them embossing, it's like, wow, that's really cool. You know, I know that always was one thing that made me do that. You know, when I first was a stamper, like, oh wow, just stamp that, put that powder on there and heat it up, and wow, you've got like a really classy, really expensive looking card. So yeah. All right, so let me know what you think. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, and that will be at 3 o'clock, Arizona time, same channel. Have a great night, and if you have any questions about the starter kit and wanting to join my team, make sure you reach out to me, okay? I'd love to talk to you. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.